welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is just going to be a New Year's Eve chatty get ready with me, what I'm looking forward to in 2024, some goals that I have personal for my channel with spending, etc. So it's just gonna be super casual, laid back. I'm in my comfy sweatshirt here. I have some new products. I have some not new products. So hopefully you like this kind of video. You're just sitting here hoping to have a chill evening with me. If you are, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, but let's just jump into the past because this is the final look and get ready together. All right, so like I said, this is going to be fairly casual, only because I'm just not feeling like putting on some kind of nicer sweater. I'm just in my oversized sweater. That is what I usually wear every day. Just gonna clip my hair back and we're gonna get started. I'm not gonna talk too much about the products unless they're newer, because some of the things that I have, like my primer, is my Becca primer in Project Pan. I think I'm almost done with it. I'll have that playlist linked down below if you want to see Project Pan or Shop My Stash, because some of those products are in those videos and I just don't want to dwell on them too much. But, you know, kind of just wanted to sit down, talk about my goals for 2024, talk about my plans. There's some things I'm like really excited about in 2024. I'm feeling pretty positive, pretty hopeful, and that's new to me. If you have kind of been on my channel for a while, I just started antidepressants like maybe 6 months ago. So the feeling of like not feeling hopeless all the time, that hasn't happened to me in quite some time. And it is very nice to just not feel stuck. I kind of explain how I've been feeling to my doctor. Like I'm stuck in like this snow globe where I can see the outside world and it's just passing by me, but I can't get out of it. And it's nice to just not feel like that anymore. And I've made some really good steps the last half of this year to try and like make 2024, like take steps towards what I have always wanted to do, but maybe just never took the time to get it done. So for example, the biggest thing I'm excited for in 2024 is I'm going on about a 5-week internship to a dog rescue in Spain. I've talked about this dog rescue before. They're my favorite dog rescue. They're called Galgos del Sol. They only, well, for the most part, they only help out greyhounds in Spain. They do take some other dogs if they have room. They're a huge rescue. They can house over 300 greyhounds at a time, which is just quite the feat. The lady who's run this rescue, like she's done so many amazing things, and they transport rescues all over the world. Like you'll see Greyhounds in Motion is a really big greyhound rescue. They will send greyhounds to them to get adopted in America. So I got accepted to do a volunteer internship for 5 weeks in April. It's April and the first week of May. So I'm so excited about that. They don't normally do long-term volunteer programs, so that's why I say accepted, because I did have to do like a phone interview. They had to make sure that I was fully aware of what I was getting into, because they highly stress, you know, this is mentally and physically exhausting. You're going to be doing 50,000 steps a day. Like it's not just playing with puppies like social media portrays. So that's why I had to kind of do a phone interview. So I'm very excited about that. Like just overly excited. And it's just something that I wanted to do for a really long time. I just never took the time to just email the lady. And why? I don't know. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And then it just happens that like 2 months after that, 2 weeks after I get finished with that, my brother is going to be graduating college, and then he's going to be having a ceremony to become an officer in the Marines. He's in the Marines and he's going to be graduating to an officer. and I'm very excited for him. So I'll be going to Louisiana. That's where he is right now, and going to both of his graduations. And it's like 10 days after I get done with my volunteer program. So that's also very exciting. I'm going to try and just squeeze a couple days and go to Arizona, which is where a lot of my friends and family are. But I don't know if that's going to happen. The main thing is, like, my siblings will be in Louisiana as well. It's going to be the first time that all of us will be together in like a very, very long time. There's usually at least one person missing. So I'm at least seeing my family, but it would be really nice to see my best friend. She had twins last year and I haven't been able to see her babies. So I would really like to go there, but that's just going to depend on a couple factors because it just happens to be Memorial weekend. The weekend I would be free during that time. And that is kind of more of an expensive time to be flying. Tickets I found round trip from Louisiana to Arizona were the same price as going from France to Louisiana. So we'll just see if I can swing that. But that's kind of my 2024 plans, all early in the early half of the year, but we'll see what the next half brings. And that's just kind of like personal stuff. Mostly I wanted to talk about, I guess, like channel goals and what I just see for this channel. This tinted moisturizer, not to interrupt, is really nice. I'm doing like a roundup on all my Nars foundations, and this is the first time I'm trying the tinted moisturizer. I have the shade 1.5, which is Norwich, and it's really nice. Wasn't expecting that. It matches me pretty well. It didn't cover up this as much, but that's okay. That's mostly just redness because I was messing with it. But my channel goals, to go back, is, you know, first thing I think channel-wise, I really just want to improve my lighting a little bit, improve my quality. That's like my personal goal. I really don't have like a subscriber goal or anything like that. I try not to get too hung up on the numbers because I don't want to become obsessive about it, and just let my channel grow as organically as it can and control the things I can control, which is quality. You know, I haven't really had like the best setup. I think it's decent for my channel size, but the lighting can definitely improve, and it's a little bit tough for me. I've mentioned this, but with my glasses, like I'm struggling with the lighting, and it's really just something I need to take the time to figure out and do, and I've just been a little bit lazy with that. So that's kind of like that goal. And my next goal is to just rein in the consumption. I feel like the first year that I did my channel, I was really good about trying to find a balance between new things and old things. And then at the tail end of 2022, I kind of just started going crazy with purchasing because that's what gets the views, is new products. And then that rolled into 2023. And I really just was like, I'm buying so much that I couldn't even keep up with the videos. I was only doing 2 videos a week, and then I even bumped it up to 3 videos a week because I was like, I have too much product, I can't keep up, and I still have too much product. So that's a goal for me. I'm gonna do, right after this, I'm gonna film my empties video, and I'm gonna talk more about like specifics, but I really just wanted to think about what's obtainable for me because I didn't want to completely go on a no buy. I know that that just wouldn't be successful for me. So I've been trying to think of ways where I would be successful. And I know a lot of people do points where once they finish a product, they kind of earn a purchase. I don't necessarily want to do that either because, one, I'm like a really slow makeup user. I'm pretty light-handed. I don't finish products quickly, and I don't want to encourage myself to use up products faster. Anyways, so I decided that wasn't going to work for me, even though I'm sure that works for a lot of other people. It just didn't seem like the way to go for me. So I think I'm just going to give myself a budget of X amount of products per month, and then make it last maybe 3 months. I'm thinking 3 or 4 months, and tweak it from there and see how it goes, and kind of just find what works for me in particular, because I want to be successful and I don't want to stop necessarily buying things. I just want to be more mindful and not just like hit the add to cart button right away and check out without even really thinking about my purchase, because that's kind of sometimes what's been happening. And I've been delaying like even deciding what I want to do specifically, because I knew if I decided right away, then I would just take December to purchase whatever I wanted. Like for example, yesterday or the day before, a couple days ago, I was on Amazon and I saw the Milani cream bronzer, and I talked about that in my Will I Buy It series. But it's like, you know, I kind of want that bronzer. I don't like lust for that bronzer. So I added it to cart. I was going to buy it because I was like, well, I won't be able to buy it next year because I know that other bronzers are going to trump that product. I'll want to buy other bronzers other than that one. And then I just had to like tell myself like, okay, well, if you're going to want to buy other bronzers other than that one, why are you even purchasing this one? And it was because I wanted it, but I didn't want it enough, like more than other ones. I hope that's making some kind of sense. So I ended up closing the tab, putting it away, and we're not going to get that bronzer unless it's one of my purchases for 2024. I did make some other purchases in December because I had some gift cards and I wanted to use them. So other than my Black Friday haul, there's maybe like 2 or 3 other things. I'll link my Black Friday haul up above and in the description box as well. There's a few other things I ordered, but not too many. I'm pretty proud of myself, and I'm going to sit down and write my rules and everything officially once I get done filming this video and I go over my empties, because I think I'm just going to combine my empties with my purchases every month and like holding myself accountable. Now that I have my base down, this is kind of where we start with the newer products. I really wanted to use my Laura Geller Wheel of Fortune palette today, so I decided I might as well try the other things I picked up from that purchase. These are the Baked Blush and Bronze, and I got 2 of them. I got Ginger Bronze and I got Earthy Bronze. So since this is kind of like a bronze blush hybrid, I think I'm gonna try both because one looks darker than the other, and we'll do one on each side. Oops. We'll do one on each side of the face and see which one looks better. So this is Ginger Bronze, looking a little dark. And then this is Earthy Bronze. So my plan is I'm gonna test one on each side, but eventually we'll like even it out. And I think this is gonna be more of like a bronzer and this will be more of a blush. Let's just see. I'm gonna start with the Earthy Bronze, Ginger Bronze, sorry. Earthy sounds like it should be darker. And there's quite a bit of product on there. I'm gonna do it more like where I would put a bronzer. I'm using a stippling brush just so hopefully it's not too pigmented. It's definitely ginger. It's quite orange for what I would want. Not really a blush bronzer hybrid, but let's just see. It would be a pretty blush, or you could just use it as a one and done. That was kind of my thought. I think Laura Geller products are a little underrated. So here's Ginger Bronze. Let's go in with Earth Bronze on the other side. Just see, I'm gonna put this a little bit higher, like where my blush would go, because I think I'm gonna add both to both sides. I just mostly want to show you the color first. Yeah, this is definitely maybe better suited for my skin tone. So Earth Bronze and Ginger Bronze. This you can see a little bit more pink. So it's a little bit more, to me, of a bronzer. And this is more of a bronzer, I guess. I can use both, I think, but for sure, I'm thinking ginger bronze is probably geared more towards medium skin tones or darker skin tones. But now I'm gonna just apply both so I look a little bit symmetrical. I would also love to hear your goals down below. I don't know. I know some people aren't really into New Year's resolutions. Like, why do you need to have the new year to start goals? But for me, I like it. It feels like a new chapter, a fresh page. And personally, like, I just like that. So let me know what your kind of goals are. Other than that, though, I don't think I have too much else that I'm trying to work towards. I mean, being in France is temporary. I've always said that. Like, our goal is to move to Spain. So still continuing to work towards that goal. But that's really, there's only so much I can control with that. So while it's like nice to say that that's like a goal, I can really only control visa situations and so forth, like so much. For me, there's not really that much of a problem, but since my husband is American, we have to go through proper channels, and it just takes a very long time to do that. This just seems, I don't know if it's the camera, but it seems stark. So yeah, I don't want to get my hopes up too much for that. Like, for example, we had to renew his visa this year. His visa expired in December, and I renewed it, like pretty easy, straightforward, like just upload some documents, whatever. And they sent me a paper saying that he was approved for his visa renewal, but that they would let us know when we could actually go to City Hall to pick up his actual visa and then pay whatever we need to pay to get it. So right now we basically have like a temporary paper that just says that he was approved in case anyone stops us and like looks at his visa, but we don't have like his official renewal. And I have no idea when we're gonna get that. Like, it's been 2 months already, no word. You just wait. You just wait until France tells you that it's time to come pick it up, and then you go pick it up. So that's why I can't really plan anything with that. And for now, it's fine. I don't necessarily hate being here that much. It bothers my husband a little bit more because it's a little bit cold here, and he doesn't like the cold. I mean, I don't like the cold, but it is cold, and he's not having a fun time with the cold. Now, let's go to highlight. For my highlight, it's not new, but I bought this when Becca was closing down, and I never opened it, and the packaging drives me nuts. It's so big, so it's like, okay, we're gonna try it in today's video. I remember wanting this because Mel Thompson used to rave about it. It is the Becca Pearl Glow Luster Glow Powder. Can't get this anymore, obviously, but here's what it looks like. It's like Becca's version of a baked gelée. So I'm gonna grab my highlight brush, just apply this to the tops of my cheekbones. I'm hoping that this is a little bit more of a subtle highlight for Becca than they're like really blinding ones. And that's kind of what it seems. It is really just becoming one with my skin. Like, you can see it's not sitting on top of my skin. It doesn't look powdery. It looks like it just goes perfectly. Okay, I like this a lot. Definitely, it's already disrupting the pan, which is fine. Add some here. There we go. There's the highlight. I don't know if I'm in love with like the bronzer blush situation. And I can't tell. I keep trying to like blend this out. Just, it's like very harsh, but it doesn't look like that in the camera. It just might be, again, the way my lights are on this side versus this side. Just need to play around with it. But so far so good. Now let's go into the eyeshadow palette. If you haven't seen the inside of the palette, this is what it looks like. It's just a pretty neutral color story. I'm not mad at it because I mostly purchased it for the packaging. So I'd much rather it be kind of more of a neutral color story than something I wouldn't use. I'm just gonna get started and do pretty much a neutral eye look here. Kind of already ran out of things to talk about. This formula is pretty good. It's a little bit powdery, like there's a little bit of kick up, but not too much. Were you interested in this palette, or was it just because I really loved Wheel of Fortune growing up? We were definitely more of like a Wheel of Fortune family rather than a Jeopardy family. My family's not smart enough for that. But my mom, I already told the story, but my mom moved to America from France when she was in her 20s, and she didn't speak any English. She came to America to get away from a guy, a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, and one of her other friends was like, I'm going to Miami, do you want to come? And she said, sure. So she went to Miami, and that was the last time she ever saw that person. And she slept on the beach for a couple of days, and eventually she was hitchhiking, and a family pulled over, and they said, like, what are you doing? Why are you hitchhiking? I mean, this was in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. They're like, do you know how dangerous that is? Because in France, people hitchhike still. I mean, it's pretty normal here. So they picked her up, and they were from some church, and she ended up being a nanny for that family. And then my dad went to the same church she got introduced to from that family, and the rest is history, and that's how they met. But she did not speak any English. I don't know how they communicated, but she would watch Wheel of Fortune to help with her English, because a lot of people still, when she said the same words, and this happens to me as well when I'm speaking French, sometimes people don't understand my accent. She would have to spell out words so people would understand her, and I have to do the exact same thing so I completely understand, and it would help her with her spelling and with her English. Plus, Vanna White's just an icon. Add this shade to the lower lash line. Like I said, keep this simple. The last thing I'll say about my mom is it is pretty funny watching her wedding video to my dad, because it's clear that she like has no idea what the heck is going on, which is why it's not surprising that they divorced. Okay, this blended really nice. This is a really nice look. It's not too dark and smoky. I mean, I only used 3 shades or so. I used this shade, and this shade. They don't have any shade names in them. Should I add something to the inner corner? I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Why not? Add like more of this gold shade. There we go. Okay, I am going to, I think, just do my brows, finish up my eyes. I'm gonna add like brown liner, mascara, all that good stuff. Maybe take my hair down, and we have lips, and we'll be done. For lips, I have to go in with my Jennifer Coolidge and e.l.f. lip kit. I am so excited for this. A little bit nervous to put this on my lips, but we will just see. So it comes with a liner, a lipstick, and a gloss. I am going to need to put my glasses on in order to do this lip liner. We're gonna do all three. I can always take it off if I don't like it. So the lip liner is, does this have a name? Fill Frontal. I don't know that I've ever tried any e.l.f. lip products. Maybe I have. It's gonna be pretty light, like it's hard to even see. The lip liner. It's okay if it doesn't go perfect though, because I really bought this not for use, but because of the collab, which I don't do that often. I will say for a wooden pencil, this is pretty creamy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this box because I don't want to keep the products in here. I don't know, I'll decide that later. Here's what the lipstick is looking like, and this is in Dirty Pillows. It doesn't look so pink. It could be worse. I was thinking this was gonna be like pink concealer lips. And this is a nice lipstick formula as well. I'm a little bit surprised, it's very creamy. I don't know if it's the most flattering on me. I prefer something like a little bit darker and maybe a little bit mauvier. I think if I went in with like a darker lip liner, this would be fine. But I'm just gonna try it out. And then I'm gonna go in with the lip gloss in Swollen. Hoping this is a little bit more sheer than it looks. It kind of looks like that because on my hand, you can't really see it. It's just kind of a glossy formula. And I don't know if this is plumping or not. It doesn't feel like it. This formula is thick, but it's not goopy. Okay, maybe it is plumping. A little bit. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm imagining it or if it's actually plumping or has like that kind of hot sensation. It's not the worst lip I've ever seen. I think, let's just talk about the products, huh? I think that for the lip kit, I could make it work, just not all together in tandem with each other. Like I'm gonna have to use different things. Like the gloss will look pretty over darker lipsticks. The lipstick will look pretty with a darker lip liner. And I think the lip liner I would use to maybe like fill in my lips all the way and then maybe use like a pigmented gloss on top. I'll at least get some use out of it. I don't think it will go completely to waste. So I really like that. You know, I'm very happy about this Becca highlight. This was just sitting in front of me, so I'm going to talk about it first. Wish I tried this sooner, but alas, here we are. Pleasantly surprised. Definitely worth the purchase off of Mel Thompson's recommendation. This was probably like my least favorite. The Bronze and Glows, Blush and Bronze, Marbleized 2-in-1. I'm just gonna have to play around with these more, I think. The hair on my nose. I'm just gonna have to play around with these more, I think, and figure out how to make them work for me. I think that maybe if I used an actual bronzer and use this more as a blush, I would like it more. Definitely like earthly bronze more than ginger bronze, just more for my skin type. You can even just tell from the pan, it's a little bit more blushy, a little bit more natural than ginger bronze. This, I mean, you can tell though that there's like a lot of powder in here for being a baked product. I'm a little bit surprised. The eyeshadow palette, love, really like this look. It's an everyday look for me, so very happy with this. I'm excited to maybe play with this green shade here, this olive shade, more of these pinky shades. I think this is a nice color story for a collab that maybe doesn't necessarily have a themed color story that they could have done with it, because if it's going to be a collab, like Beauty and the Beast. I want it to match, I want the color story to match the theming. This I don't think necessarily has a color story, so I'm happy with the colors in there, if that makes sense. Next, the rest were just Shop My Stash products, but I do want to touch on this Tinted Moisturizer because pleasantly surprised, I think this is going to rank pretty high in my Nars ranking. I just did Maybelline. I'll link that video above and below. And then you guys voted and said you wanted to see Nars before Guerlain. So that's why I'm testing all my Nars. I haven't tested all of them yet, but a good majority, like taking down notes, etc. It didn't cover everything. Like you can still see the blemish that I was picking at earlier. So it is a tinted moisturizer, but the coverage looks really nice. I'm very happy with this. Overall, like, happy with my makeup. I don't think it's the best I ever did. It's mostly just the cheeks, but I really don't want this to be too long of a video though. I can already tell it's going to be long, as are most of my videos. I apologize about that. I talk a lot. That's just who I am. You probably know that by now. But let me know your goals for 2024. Do you have exciting trips planned? Do you have things that maybe, like me, you just need to send an email to go volunteer somewhere and you've been putting it off? Like, just send the email. I'd love to know what you're looking forward to in 2024. I hope you have a nice New Year's Eve. I hope you stay safe, but this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a good one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.